you to our wonderful school. To make sure that our school remains so wonderful, we talk about our Longfellow rules. So when you come to the gym, we will have assemblies about every 2 weeks. And some assemblies will be when we talk about rules, some assemblies will talk about Longfellow character, and during some assemblies we'll talk about other places in the world. We call it global learning, when we learn about other countries. So when you are in our gym, we have some rules for you. And these rules are, you have to sit on the floor with your friends like you're doing now. Your mouths need to be quiet, and your bodies need to be calm. You need to listen to the presenters. I am the presenter today. And you need to keep your hands and feet to yourself. And as I am looking around, all of you are doing this. You're doing an excellent job right now. Thank you. Boys and girls must come to school. This is one of the laws that we have in Nebraska. And you come to school to learn, to grow, feel good about yourself, because when we learn important things, we feel confident. We feel like we know something, and we can share something with other people. That makes us feel good. And you come to school because we want you guys to have better lives. When you have an education, you can have a good job. When you grow up, you can make good money, you can buy whatever you want, you can travel, you can have good things in life. That's why school is so important. I want to show you some pictures of schools in other places in the world. Other kids come to schools that look like this. They don't have comfortable chairs and desks. Their classrooms are not as clean as yours. They don't have rockers or comfy video chairs that you have in your cozy corners. They don't have toys to play with. They don't have books, pens or pencils that you guys have. But they still come to school because learning is important for kids. Here are some more pictures of schools and classrooms where kids learn. And some more. In these places, people don't have enough money to fix their schools. But school is still important for kids, and they come to learn. This is what our school looks like. Our school is beautiful, it's clean, it's comfortable, it's bright, it's ready to welcome all of you. This is what our classrooms look like. You can sit on the floor, on the carpet, you can sit in your chairs, you can sit in cozy corners, in rockers. We want you to feel comfortable when you learn. We dress up on some events, and we have fun while we learn. So we have rules to make sure that each and every one of you feels safe at school. This is very important, to feel safe and not afraid of anything when you're in school. We want you to feel comfortable when you come to school. And we want you to learn. This is why we have rules. And rules are important to follow. So here are our Longfellow rules. Most of you know them, so let's say them all together. Live with integrity.
Earn and give respect. Act responsibility. Act with compassion.
Very good. I'm going to talk about each of them now, so listen carefully. Integrity means honesty. Integrity means telling the truth. So when you're in the hallway, walking from your classroom to the nurse's office, or to the office, or to another class, and there are no adults, we want you to show integrity. We want you to keep the class classroom's clean. We want you to keep the hallway clean, even when no one is looking. When no one is looking and you're doing the right thing, it means you have integrity. When you're in the bathrooms, teachers have been teaching you bathroom rules. How to take care of your things there, how to keep them clean. Because I want to go to a clean bathroom. I think all of you want to go to a clean bathroom. So we need to make sure that they're clean for everybody, including us. Respect is the next one. Treating others with kindness, being nice to others, being kind with words and actions. This is what respect means. Now, respect also can be during learning time. So when your teachers teach you the rules, you have to respect those rules. The rules like raise your hand for permission to speak. Or maybe when your teacher is talking and teaching or presenting, you have to pay attention. You have to be quiet so you can listen to the teacher and learn. So you can let other kids learn. So this is an example of disrespect. We don't want you to look like this while you're learning. And gum is not allowed in school. Okay, making faces like this is very disrespectful. It doesn't make us feel good. I never want to see a classroom looking like this. Neither do your teachers. This is extremely disrespectful. We call the police when things like this happen. Okay? So, whatever you have in your classroom, you have to respect those things. Furniture, books, your supplies, and your friends and your teacher. Your classrooms should never look this way. This is scary for kids to see. Responsibility is the next one. Following rules and directions, doing your job, being where you need to be, and working hard. Sometimes learning can be very, very hard. And sometimes you can't do things that we ask you to do, and that's okay. All we want you to do is just try. The teachers will be there to help you, to explain it to you, maybe show you a different way of how to learn, but we want you to try. We never want you to say no to the teacher. I don't want to. We don't want to hear that. Things will be difficult for you in school, but we will be there to help you and support you. Responsibility is the next one. You have lots of responsibilities at school. Looking at this picture, you will be doing a lot of learning. You will be writing, reading, you will be talking, you will be listening. These are all your responsibilities when you learn. You will have to line up to transition from one classroom to another, to go from your classroom to the cafeteria, to outside. We line up and we walk quietly. We keep our hands and feet to ourselves. When we make messes, sometimes we do. It happens. Often I see it in the cafeteria. Sometimes you eat and you drop food on the floor. It is your responsibility to pick it up. When you make a mess while you throw away food in the trash can, whatever is left on your tray, and make a mess on the floor, don't count that Mr. Ryan will run and clean it up for you. Start cleaning up. We will help you. But I want each of you to pick up your mess. At least a part of it. Okay? Compassion is next one. When we show compassion, we show kindness to others. We show support so they don't feel bad. So if somebody falls down on the ground, especially when you play sports, I see that happening when you play soccer or when you play maybe kickball. Give somebody a hand, help them get up from the ground. That's showing compassion. Okay? If somebody doesn't have an eraser maybe, they just don't have it, it's okay to let them borrow yours. That's showing compassion. If somebody cries, you can ask them, are you okay? Is there anything I can help you with? That's showing compassion. Here's an example of that. is not feeling well, you can ask them, how are you doing? Do you need help, or can a teacher help you? Okay, attendance is very, very important in school. I told you that coming to school is a law in Nebraska. All kids must come to school to learn. When you're in school, you learn important things. So make sure, unless you're very, very sick, then you need to stay at home. Or maybe something important is happening in your family. Then that's okay to miss school. But on all the other days, you have to be here. You're important to us. We want you to be here because we love you and we want you to learn important things in life. So your own kids, you have lots of toys at home, and you love your toys, and you love to bring them to school. Well, we have a rule at Longfellow. We don't allow toys, games, your phones, any kind of electronics, iPads. They're not allowed in school. You can keep them at home. As I told you, you have so many wonderful things at school. We already have games for you. We already have electronics. Each student has a computer at school at Longfellow. It doesn't belong to you, but when you're in the classroom, each of you gets a computer when your teacher says, we're going to work on Google Classroom or something like that. So you don't need to bring anything with you. If you do, the teacher will take it away from you. The teachers will bring that object to me, and I can keep it to the end of the school year. It becomes mine. Okay? I'll give it to you at the end of the school year. Some things I might not give you back, depending on what that object is. So keep your precious things at home. Don't bring them to school. So vandalism. Some of you don't know what that means. Vandalism is when people destroy property, when they break things, when they maybe write words on the walls, or you probably see that maybe somewhere in town, right? Okay, this is not allowed in school. This is illegal at school, okay? Students must respect property, which means you just have to take care of our wonderful school. You have to keep it clean. We have to call the police, and they come and they talk to kids. They find out what happens. So anywhere where I see there's writing or something is broken, I can call the police. We also have cameras in our building, in the halls, and I can just look at what happened, and I will know who did it. So please keep that in mind. And then I call parents, and if things are broken, then parents pay fines. They give money to school for broken things. So make sure to take care of all the property in school. Bullying. We talk about bullying. Mrs. Simmons talks about bullying with you when she comes to teach you guidance classes. Bullying is mean, unkind, and aggressive treatment of others that keeps happening again and again. So when kids say bad words to the same person again and again and again, this is bullying. And it is forbidden at school. We have very serious consequences for bullying. Sometimes kids slip, and they might say something not nice to a kid, and they slip. We all make mistakes. There's still going to be a consequence for that. But you need to understand that bullying is repetitive behavior. It keeps happening and happening, and we do not want that because that makes kids feel really, really bad. I want to talk about dangerous items that are not allowed at school. Drugs are not allowed at school. We call the police for that. Things like alcohol, tobacco, cigarettes. These things are not allowed at school. You are kids. You shouldn't even look at these things. Okay? At school, these things are not allowed. Weapons or anything that looks like weapons. So your Nerf guns, keep them at home. They're not allowed at school. And if you bring Nerf guns, I will not return them to you. Nerf bullets, keep them at home. Dress code. I wanted to talk about dress code. So it's nice outside, it's warm, and some of you are wearing, t-shirts and shorts. This is all good, but we have rules for those things, okay? So we don't allow any kind of t-shirts that show guns or tobacco or alcohol or anything that is not good for kids, not allowed for kids. So none of those t-shirts or shirts or dresses. No clothes that you can see through. So if I can see your belly button, or if I can see anything under your short, it shouldn't be, okay? It should be solid fabric that is not see-through. Any kind of shorts that are too short, okay? And you should be able to lean down, and everything should be covered, okay? Your belly shouldn't be showing at school. We don't like to see hats inside, okay? I know that some boys like to wear them for recess, and that's okay. And if you come down to the cafeteria and you have your hat, just keep it maybe on the bench. Keep it on the bench and then put it on when you go outside, okay? We will have dress-up days where you can wear hats. We'll allow you to do that. But every day, please do not have hats inside the building.
I have a question.
Shoes need to be on your feet at all times, especially in the gym. We don't want anyone to get hurt. We want you to feel comfortable when you run. So these are some examples of what kids should look like when you come to school. Most of you look very nice when you come to school. And this is an example of what it shouldn't look like. All right? So any kind of shirts that show too much of your shoulders, too much of your chest, maybe low cuts in the shirts for boys and girls, we don't want to see that. We just want to see your happy, beautiful, and handsome faces. There are consequences for breaking these rules, okay? For bullying, fighting, if you bring weapons, knives or Nerf guns or anything of this sort, if you vandalize our building or property, so playground, there are serious consequences. We have in-school suspension, we have out-of-school suspension. In-school suspension means you're removed from your friends, from your teacher, from your classroom, and you're put in a room with an adult where you'll spend all day. You won't have recess, you won't have lunch with your friends. You'll still have lunch, but you will be eating by yourself. And then we have out-of-school suspension. Out-of-school suspension is when you're not allowed to school because your behavior was so bad that we do not want this anymore to happen, okay? So sometimes I have to call the police if weapons are involved. And again, dealing with the police is it's not very pleasant. They are very helpful. They help us. But when we break law, then they're not very happy with us. Playground in the morning. Many of you have been coming to school early because you're so excited for the school year. You miss your friends and you want to come and play with them. So we stand on the lines in the morning. Sandbox is out of reach. We do not play in the morning in the sandbox. Playground is not allowed. So the equipment with swings and slides and all of that is not allowed in the morning. We don't play there. You can participate in structured activities that Mr. Pedroso presents to you. So 4th and 5th graders can play kickball, only 4th and 5th graders. Younger kids cannot do that. And you can walk in the soccer field, and I think we take turns who does it on which days. Okay, some days maybe adults will allow more of you to walk there. But so we stand in line, we walk on the soccer field, and 4th and 5th graders, they play kickball on the base there. So let's say our school rules one more time before we go to learn on Friday. Okay. I'll say 1, 2, 3. Live with integrity. Earn and give respect. Act responsibly. Practice compassion. Wonderful. You guys did an amazing